real good, alright? Most dope. Everybody please put a thumb in the air.
Welcome back.
Can I have a pen? I have another beef.
Oh, God.
I'm the barroom.
We're losing control.
We have.
This is what happens when you get a night.
78 or 76?
78.
Okay.
This is what happens when you get a late night show.
You know what happens when you drink muscle milk? You have no muscles. I don't think it's working.
Yeah, you just have you drinking a bunch of milk.
This is our favorite time of the show, our beef segment.
Oh,
I'm hoping it's quick and to the point. Dead guy, give us something back there.
He has not.
My beef is just the Phillies fans just immediately the season's over. The season's not over.
saying the season's over.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about you though particularly. I'm talking. There's a lot of people that are immediately. We're throwing this team out already. We're 35 games in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree. And
like
the division's weak as shit.
What are we? We're 6 games out.
Yep.
6 games out. Like, come on.
Some bastard way the Braves swept St. Louis. I don't know how the hell they did that.
6 games.
At least the Nationals are losing, so I don't have to listen to the freaking
thank
Nationals.
God.
And Bryce Harper's a jerk.
It's 6 games. That's a sweep of the Braves. That's a sweep of the Nationals. That's like
if they go 8-2, they're right up in second
exactly.
place.
Yeah,
but they got to do it.
Well, that's the biggest
and I
problem.
keep thinking they're going to start, and then they start dicking around. They piss me off.
As long as they keep it close,
and they hit. They need to hit the. They need to hit the freaking ball.
7 runs every game.
7 runs every game. What are we, the Rangers?
Well, you see what our relief pitching does, right?
Well, did you see what our closer does?
Papelbon
is a beast.
Except when he gave up that home run.
It wasn't a closing situation. That's you can't bring a closer in a non-closing situation.
That's what I hate. I hate that when it's not a closing situation.
Warning.
We gotta make it quick.
But they do that. They do that in the home games. They bring the closer in the 9th inning because they figure that they're going to
gonna get it.
But it's not the Phillies of 08. Yeah. We're not scoring in the bottom.
Exactly.
Of the 9th. Bring them in the 10th or the 11th.
All right, Tom, give me a beef.
My beef is baseball can't think ahead enough to have a standby umpire if an umpire is sick. Why is it that the Phils had a game when there was only 3 umpires when there should have been 4?
I thought there always was an alternate.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
They were short an umpire.
Wow.
Down third base line, and there was 2 plays down there. There was a check swing that wasn't called, and there was
Cowboy Joe West.
And he was sick. And then why can't they have one person there?
I thought there's a 5th. They roll and cruise a 5.
Not there. They had no third base up.
They had no third base, and there was 2. So how hard is that?
With Joe
just to
West,
do a region.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
I think they should have done what they do in Little League and call in someone's dad to do it. You know, that's what they did to us.
Or a minor league. There's enough minor league affiliations.
It gotta be
affiliations, baby. Big word for Glenn. Around here, they could come up and do it.
Hey, it's gotta be right.
Yeah.
They call players up from Scranton and Reading.
There's a homer.
Who was it? That guy caught it. What a guy.
Polanco. First one of the year. All right.
First and last of the year.
Big old elephantitis of the head.
All right, Polanco.
All right, Cheeks. You got more?
Is that it?
My only other thing was, and I know you guys still hate it, is there still should be instant replay in baseball. I know you hate it. I know there is for the for the home runs, but let you see the play the other day.
No, I'm saying everything though.
Like the play with the Dodgers,
where the first baseman was so far off,
3.5 feet off the bag,
and they called it an out.
That's right.
I mean, how the hell does that happen?
Yeah, why can't the home plate umpire step in there?
Well, I think they technically can, but it's kind of like that brotherhood. Like you don't.
Fine.
I'm not gonna step.
Yeah,
on
that's a bad. That was a horrible.
But you can't have instant replay on every free.
No, you can't. And
but they'll have like.
You have to have a compromise.
I think they're eventually going to get to the challenge. Sixers win.
Oh man, I can't.
The challenge.
82-81. Nice win for the Phillies.
Good job.
76.
Because I wore the pants.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to wear the pants every single night for the Sixers play.
And you know.
Nah, I'm done.
Cheeks.
I had the umpires also. That's a good one. I had the Flyers. They took the Devils too lightly. I'm going to tell you right now. They won in overtime. They're talking about sweep.
Yeah,
and that's what I was going to say.
Taka was talking about a sweep.
I know. Not only the Flyers, but the media saying, "Oh, I think it's a sweep, maybe in 5." And I'm thinking, the Devils are a pretty good team. Next one, I watched Behind the Pinstripes yesterday. I watched Behind the Pinstripes with Charlie Manuel. Right?
Not the Charlie Manuel show?
No, it was Behind the Pinstripes, Charlie Manuel, and he had his buddy who was his sports writer at New Ted Williams, and Charlie Manuel talked to Ted Williams, and he talked about hitting for 4 hours with Ted Williams, and Ted Williams taught him a lot. And I was like, wow, that's great. Then Charlie made a statement that absolutely baffled my mind. Baffled my little pea brain. He said, yeah, I first...
That's not hard to do.
Just this year, I got to talk to Chase Utley about hitting. I haven't been able to while I was playing, and now that he's out, I've talked to him about how to hit.
Well, great hitting coach.
I'm like, how many fucking years you been there, Charlie? All right? You haven't taught anyone how to hit?
I know.
Honest to God, at Pinstripes, I can't believe nobody brought it up on the radio, on the sports radio show.
Unbelievable.
So, I don't know what he's really coaching.
He's not doing anything.
When he says a statement like that, well, I got to talk to Chase Utley about my philosophy of hitting. Dude, Chase is there 5 years. Now you finally did it because he's hurt and he's standing next to you for some goddamn reason? Is that baffling?
Unbelievable.
I don't know. That worries me.
Oh, it's very...
And then he's stupid enough to say something like that on the Pinstripes, and then they let it go because it was taped.
Yeah. He's got Cole Hamels of the mouth, just opens his mouth and says stupid
shit. Yeah, that's Jimmy's beef. I was going to have that as a beef.
I was going to say something about Cole Hamels, but then the more I hear about Bryce Harper, I'm glad he threw one in his back.
I didn't think it was all that big of a deal.
I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Him saying
that was the big deal.
That was right.
That was,
you don't have to say it.
No, I understand.
You don't have to say it.
But I'll tell you though, when he said it, it gives him a little edge. And it gives him a little more
cred.
Philly
hey, I
mentality.
threw it out. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't.
But like they said, most pitchers would say, "Nah, I just slipped," and then smiled. Did it a more subtle way than actually telling you that he hit it. But the more I hear, like Bryce Harper, the next 2 nights later, he's like smashing a bat because
hit him in the head.
Hit him in the head. He's bleeding down his face. And I hear nothing. I heard he was like. He hit a home run in the minor leagues and blew a kiss back at the pitcher, and the pitcher
as he was rounding third. He blew a kiss at the guy.
But then he also but then Cole took the pitch. He didn't get made. He got hit. He knew it was coming. He got beamed. It's part of, and all these self-righteous guys like Jim Leland saying like, oh, he should have got suspended for 4. Screw you, Jim Leland. I guarantee you had pitchers throw at players. Even Ricky Batalga said everyone's throw. And then they had Kurt Schilling. They had a clip from Kurt Schilling. If you watch the Great Sports Debate this week, which sucks, and Rhea, who sucks, and
we got a tablecloth for him.
Yeah, but they went off. And they showed Kurt Schilling back, like one of the old ones, like a classic episode about throwing. Yeah, I threw a pitcher, I threw at batters and stuff when the coach told him. And then he's like preaching the highest praise, like, oh, he's going to get it. Cole Hamels had so much control, he threw it right in his back where you're supposed to throw it.
If you're going to hit somebody on purpose, that's where you do it.
And it wasn't a fastball either. It was like 70 miles.
He hit him right in the back, and it wasn't. And then they complained, like, well, Bob Gibson would have threw it his face.
He would have threw it his face, and he would.
Like my point exactly. He comes out there with this black shit down, and I mean, you imagine Nolan Ryan, Bob Gibson,
Don Drysdale,
and the other dude. What's the little guy? They didn't put up with that shit. I mean, they would have nailed him.
Yeah.
A rookie don't go out there with black shit on his face and walk around like he's the greatest thing, but the media's talking him up and he's eating it up.
Well, yeah, and he's obviously a good player, but he's kind of coming back.
He hit a home run today, too.
I don't think there have been any issues if Cole said nothing.
If he wouldn't have said anything. And how you said,
and I think it would have been better if he had some kind of snippy little clip, But don't say he's old school, because he's not really old school.
Because old school wouldn't have said it.
Well, no,
they would have just done it.
It's not old school. Old school is brushing, like little chin music.
Yeah,
Get him off the plate a little. Get him off the plate a little bit.
You send the rook a little message. Welcome to the majors. It's over with it. You know what it does? It builds up for the rivalry. It makes it even better. And it's going to be better the next time.
Now that we're south,
they're coming next week.
Yeah,
20th.
But my big beef, though, is if you listen to 610 today, and I know the Sixers lost on Saturday night and stuff, but you have so many of these guys like Ike Reese and Gargano, like jumping for joy that the Sixers had a great season. They're all on, and then they're not even. They were like, oh, I'm not really excited. They played bad the other night. I don't know if Doug Collins is good. This guy stinks. Jody Meeks is horrible. Elton Brand can't play anymore. And I was like, you guys jump off, and I guarantee I listen to him tomorrow. They'll be like, oh, what, because Gargano's like a huge Sixer guy. I'm all Sixered up. He goes, I'm not really into this one. It's not really Sixers Celtics of old. Well, it's not going to be Sixers Celtics of old. We have no superstars yet. Get off of it. There's no Larry Bird. There's no Parrish. There's no McHale. There's no Doc.
Tony. But that's his deal. That's their deal. And also,
I know they do it just to get phone calls and stuff like that. But you're just so annoying.
I have another. Do you have another beef?
No, that's it.
I got a quick beef. I got a quick beef talking about Tommy Heinsohn. And what's the guy? Who's on with Glenn Mack now? What's his name? Gargano. And he always talks to everybody like Schmitty and Dougie and Frankie. He called him Heinzie. Now I'm gonna tell you when you're like, what is Heinze? He's gotta be 60, 70 years old. You don't call him Heinze. He goes, what? He goes, okay, I'll call you Tom. And then it was Tommy by the end. That dude has got to stop that shit, man.
Well, especially like he was. If you listen to the interview, he was so patronizing to him. But Heinsohn was good because
he was talking serious.
Yeah, well, he was telling, but he told you he liked being the bad guy.
He said
he said it was fun coming to Philadelphia and getting yelled at. I guess he did some commercial for Boyd Suits or something.
Yeah, it was cool.
But
did you hear that? What kind of broadcast is that? Having him in Stockton and that did you hear him talk on that? That was a horrible team to have.
Right.
I mean, there was no Sixer love there. All right, and then you have Chris Webber. The biggest slug in the world, like the third voice, like the Syracuse walking around.
If you watch the TNT studio show, they should just get rid of Shaq.
Exactly.
Put it back to the original three. Shaq's not bad.
No, I think Shaq needs his own show. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, I'm saying they
ruined
ruined that show because you know what? They have to go over to him. Ernie Johnson's got to be here and talk to Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley.
Right.
Because they work against each other. They're like, they're like a black and white cookie. They work against each other, but they're good. They're funny.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
Shaq should have his own little sitcom like they do on the Fox, where they have that funny guy with the imitations. I forget his name. You know what I mean?
Anthony,
the Fox Football.
Football.
Yeah. He should have his own little segment. And
Caliendo.
Right, Caliendo. They should do that with him. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I mean, he's not bad, and he talks.
Barkley's tremendous.
They're honest though. I'll tell you one thing: they're honest. They tell you if you stink, you stink. And
they do.
And
Barkley will tell you.
They make fun of that one guy from the Denver Nuggets. It was like kind of
all the time.
Oh, they hammer the crap out. But he actually had a good series though.
Yeah.
But
that guy had a beef Yetis.
Did he?
Oh yeah. My beef, it goes back to that whole Cole Hamilton, was Mike Rizzo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
My 30 years of baseball.
He got fined.
He did get fined, an undisclosed amount.
Oh, my God.
So,
great.
It was good.
That's embarrassing.
It was. I mean, the great thing was I was listening to sports radio, and they were talking about Mike Rizzo compared to Frank Rizzo. Like a real man compared to Mike Rizzo. And like they showed some clips of Frank Rizzo, and it was classic.
They say clips of what he said,
Yeah. And Mike Rizzo's, he's a bitch.
Well,
he is. I mean, it's just as bad as Cole Hamel saying, "Yeah, I hit him on purpose," as him coming out and saying that it's chicken shit.
But you got to understand,
you know what I mean?
He's a very smart man because he's going to sell out that Nationals Park whenever the Phillies go in there right now.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing,
especially when he said you can't come there.
And they wouldn't sell tickets if you had address.
And they got there.
Yeah, if you were outside the DC area or like the 20 miles.
If you had a Pennsylvania address, they wouldn't send you tickets.
Yeah.
They made more money on that guy with him saying that bullshit than it was a challenge. I challenge you Philadelphia guys to get there. They'll get there.
Yeah, well, and plus for years you're putting ads in the Daily News trying to get us to come down because you couldn't fill the stadium.
He thought I'll do the opposite and get them to come there even more.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like I said, it's a great rivalry, and you hope they're good because it's better if both teams are good. I mean, we're playing
because the Mets rivalry has fizzled out because the Mets have sucked these last
and they're going to be bad for years.
Yeah,
we had Florida there for a little. That was a good rivalry.
Florida's too far away.
Florida's too far away.
Yeah,
they're not really doing what they're supposed to.
There,
the Braves are there, but they're getting old, and all the big players are gone. So you need,
except for Chipper Jones. I love Chipper Jones.
If they bean Chipper his last at bat in Philly, I'll cheer like hell.
This year.
No, I know, but I mean,
Larry.
He's going to be your hitting coach next year.
Did you hear Dutch Dalton on Larry? He goes, the biggest dick he ever seen.
Who?
Chipper Jones. Dalton said. Dalton has some show. I had to work Wednesday night. He talks with some guy. He says some great stories. Have you ever heard? I don't know what it was. 8 o'clock. It was like I had to be there.
Something with Dutch, right?
Something with Dutch.
Down with Dutch, or something.
And he goes, he's talking about this or that. It was a real good story. And he says, Larry's the biggest, and I ever seen.
Was he tanner than a piece of shit? Because I'll tell you,
I
sometimes
didn't
that
see him.
guy
It was on
just,
the
like,
radio.
needs to stop tanning.
Oh,
I need to stop dieting. He
You
needs to
love
stop tanning.
Chipper Jones?
I like Chipper Jones. He's a
Ah.
baller. He's a freaking baller.
He sucks.
All right, well, why don't we?
Come on. I'm just
We're
saying.
gonna
let me
grab
just
our
say, let me
Bud
say, I
Lights.
used to go to hitting.
I need a
camp.
refill.
I used to go to hitting
I
camp
gotta go.
As a kid, and they would show Chipper Jones hitting. This is what you're supposed
And what
to
did
do.
it do for you? You were a 110 hitter.
We
your
will-
whole
Hey, I made
life,
Legion.
for Christ's
We
sake.
will see you next week for some more Barroom Blitz.
Dot.
This is gonna feel real good, alright? Most dope. Everybody please put a thumb in the air.